All right, friends, for this video, you're going to need your science notebook, pencil, and this yellowish, orangish sheet from the front table. So go ahead and get that now. Oh, and your scissors and glue. Sorry. Go ahead and move this sheet over to the side for now, and let's open up to the next two clean sheets of paper. For some of you, that's right before your weather chart. For others, it's behind. That's totally fine. That should be 90 and 91. So go ahead and number those, and then I'm going to title them real quick. I'm going to title page 91 Adaptations and page 90 Bird Beak Chart. Now we're going to focus on 91 first because this is stuff that we were doing before we left for spring break with the plant adaptations, and now we're going to move into animal adaptations. So we're going to start on page 91. All right, so when we were talking about adaptations for plants, we were talking about the features or behaviors that they have that help them survive in their environment. It's going to be the same thing for animals. Their physical features, so things that you can see, or how they behave, like what they do, that helps an organism survive in its environment. So like plants and animals. So let's copy that down on page 91. Okay, so then I listed a couple examples. So for plant examples, I have the creosote bush, and they have waxy leaves to prevent water loss. And I think we saw a picture of those in that slideshow that we were doing. It's that waxy leaves that helps keep the water to run down into the plant. And then the yucca plant, they have long, narrow, thick-skinned leaves to hold in water. So those are examples of their adaptations. They either have, this one has waxy leaves, this one has the long, narrow, thick leaves, and the way it's surviving is in its environment is it's keeping water because plants need water to grow. So now I'm going to list a couple animal examples just to give us a brief overview of what we're going to be doing in our lab and learning about this week. Okay, so looking at animal examples, I have a snowshoe hare, and snowshoe hares have lots of fur for cold, wintry environments. So in order to survive or adapt to their environment, they have lots of fur so that they can stay warm. Whereas the black-tailed jackrabbit, they have very little fur for hot, dry desert environments. So they don't have as much fur or hair on them so that they can stay cool because they're in a desert environment. So let's copy that down. Okay, so when we talked about some of the plant adaptations, some of the things we said is that they're either waxy or have oil, or they might have thorns, or they might be sticky. Those were some of the examples we talked about. Those weren't all of them, but those were some of the ones we talked about. So those are some of the plant adaptations. So copy that down because then some of the other animal adaptations that we might see are fur, beaks, sharp teeth, claws, fins, stingers, smelly spray, bright colors. Oh, that was also one we saw for plants, like those bright colors of flowers. Wings, and then the ability to hibernate and or migrate, but that's where the wings come in. So I want you to copy those down just because we're going to come back and forth to this page when we're looking at animal adaptations. So once you have all that copied down, I want you to get your sheet and then your scissors and glue. We're going to go ahead and cut out the chart, and we're going to glue it onto page 90. So it'll look like this. And then what I want you to do is I want you to look at the different shapes of each bird beak and how it's described, like what type of beak it is. And then how does it affect the bird's eating? So like what kind of things can this bird eat because of its beak? Because this is going to lead into our lab that we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to do a bird beak experiment. So I want you to look through this first. So glue it down, then read all of it, and then we're going to set up our pages for page 92 and 93 for our lab. All right, now that you've read through all your different bird beaks on page 90, I want you to turn in number 92 and 93. 92 is going to be bird beak data and 93 is going to be bird beak experiment. So go ahead and let's copy that down and get those ready. Okay, so page 93, if you want to get a ruler, you can. And what you're going to do is you're going to copy down this chart right here. So in just a minute, I want you to pause it to look at it, but not yet. So you're going to have the beak type, and I have 2 lines going in between each box. So I have beak type, and then I have spoon, tweezer, clothespin, toothpick, popsicle sticks. And then the different food I have is seeds, beans, worms, rice, and marshmallows. So there's 2 boxes for each blank. And then you're going to make this note at the bottom, record which beak or tool was able to pick up and eat the most food, because this is the chart we're going to use Thursday when we do our bird beak experiment. So pause and copy this down. Now on page 92, we're going to write our 3 questions that we're going to answer once we've done the lab. So all you're doing right now is just copying them down. So for number 1, you're copying. What type of food would your bird most likely eat based on the results from your data? So see, you can't even answer it right now because you don't have your data. So you're just going to pause and copy it down. Question 2. How do the different structures and features and functions of the beaks help them catch food? So we're going to look at how the different beaks help them catch food in different environments. And then the last one you're going to copy down is, would a bird with a short clothespin-like beak survive eating fish out of a pond? And then you'll tell me why or why not. Not today, but when we do this on Thursday. So all you're doing right now is copying down your 3 questions. So once you have your experiment chart and your questions done, you should already have your notes and your bird beaks glued down. Then go ahead and fill out your table of contents. And you should have already watched the video first. Just the real quick little clip. So you are all done for science. If you don't finish today, don't worry, you can do it for homework tonight. All right, thanks guys.